Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time once again for the Coon Prairie Ramblers. We're going to circle the wagons. We're going to confabulate and mind meander, talk about just about everything there is to talk about. Along to confabulate with us, we got KC and the Moonshine Gang.
Yeah, buddy.
And off to my side here, we got Luke, the rebel without a clue.
Here we are again. Let's make it happen.
And we got me, the... what am I?
Laughable
mailman.
The mailman in the flesh.
Yeah. Well, how has your week gone since we last spoke?
Good.
Yeah.
I had a little chance to get out of town the other day on somebody else's dime.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take my son to West Palm Beach.
Oh, yeah.
And he had to catch an airplane to fly to the Bahamas.
Oh.
And so we had to take him over. We got up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Ugh.
Well, you know, we got some airports over here, KC. Why do you
well, I think whenever you're flying on somebody else's dime, you go where they tell you to go to. You don't tell them to come to arcade to pick you up.
That's right.
And plus, they fly out of these luxury places. It's a place called Jet Air, and instead of going out to the regular terminals where you would load and unload with all the rest of the peons, you go to this little fancy place, very small and not real, like tiny small, bigger than a house. I mean, it's a real, marble bathrooms, that kind of stuff and all. I mean, it was really nice, but we got down there and hadn't been to West Palm Beach in 100 years. And on the way back, we kept thinking, well, we'll stop somewhere. We never did go by anything. We got all the way to Okeechobee. And as we were coming into Okeechobee, my son Dalton had told us about a place there where you could get real good fried catfish, and it was about 9:30 in the morning. So we stopped there, and everybody was getting breakfast burritos, but we went ahead and got that, and the catfish was, hot out of the fryer. It was delicious. And so everybody else was getting their burritos, but we got a mess, a catfish, and a clamshell, one of the big dinner-sized clamshells full of French fries. It kind of put the size of it put me in mind of what you used to get at Country Gentleman. It wasn't the same type of fries. It wasn't as thinner. It was a bigger, thicker fry and a little more seasoned, but they were very good. But that catfish, oh, boy. I think the only way you could have had better catfish if you'd have come home and cooked it yourself, if you knew what you were doing.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was really good. Luke had said something one time before about his father eating cold leftover fish for breakfast.
That's right. You dip it in syrup. That's the way to do it. Cold fish, you dip them in syrup.
Well, this was hot, but I just never in my life had imagined eating fish for breakfast, but it was good.
Ooh. You dip them in syrup?
Cold leftover fish. You take cold for breakfast the next day. You dip the cold fish in the syrup. You'd be surprised how good that is.
Like Cairo syrup?
No, not syrup. Syrup.
S-U-R-P. Syrup.
Syrup.
Well, maple, or if you get some good homemade...
You're saying it's something totally different.
Guava syrup be good.
What is it you're calling it, Mel?
Syrup.
Syrup.
Cairo syrup.
Syrup.
He got two syllables out of that word.
But it's syrup.
Syrup.
Oh, I stand corrected there.
Syrup. If you use syrup, that's when you use syrup. You put it on your pancake. Usurp. U-S-U-R-P. Usurp. I use syrup on my pancake.
Oh, well, how do you usurp it?
You slurp it.
Oh, you slurp
if it's thin enough.
To usurp the syrup, you got to slurp it.
That's right.
My.
Slop a biscuit in it or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that guava, that's pretty good.
Oh my goodness.
You got any of that left over?
I got a little bit, but I'm going to finish it off. Well, that's what I did this week. I had some used. My wife used syrup. Yeah, right. That'll go over real good. We had some Cattleya guavas this year. Had a good crop of them. My wife got enough to make one cobbler and about 3 jars of syrup, Cattleya guava jelly. Cattleya is what she made, and she set it up and got it going. And afterwards, she found out that one of them didn't set up. It didn't set. So it's just like a liquid, and she was disappointed in that. So, well, let me show you what to do with that, because that turns into guava syrup if it don't set up into jelly. And so she made us a big old thing of pancakes French toast for supper one night.
Yeah.
And I put that guava syrup on there, and I jumped on that like a duck on a June bug. I ain't had no guava syrup probably since my granny died back in '79 when she used to make it all the time. And It was fitting, trust me.
Wow. I'm going to have to pull up a picture of your granny so I can show it on YouTube now. Or you're going to have to send me one.
I'll send you one of my granny and maybe some of the Guava Surp. I'll send you a picture of that for the YouTube version. What did you do this week?
Me? Oh, man. I fretted over my grass. It was, it's just been raining and it's hot and that stuff just grows. I'm thinking, man, come on. How many times? I'm down. At one point, I was mowing the grass twice in 1 week.
Forget that.
Oh, man.
I thought you meant you were sitting out there playing a guitar over the top of your yard.
Oh, fretting over my grass.
That's right.
You're too much. And then, doing this show, and we put it, it airs on Saturday and Sunday, and then we put it on YouTube. I usually spend a couple days editing the show when the station sends it to me.
That's a lot of work, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I do too. Especially if you can do anything to make me sound better, not quite so hillbilly, I appreciate that.
Well, I usually edit out the big silent. I know leave the faux pas in. They're pretty good, but
if there was a way to speed the voices up, we could be like the chipmunks, and we could record for 2 hours, and it would condense it down into 1 hour.
I could probably do that.
That might be fun.
Yeah, but it's fun doing it because I hear the show about 3 or 4 different times. You got
to be sick of it before it's over with.
I'm thinking, I know what it's going. Like, somebody says something, I'm thinking, I know what so and so is going to say now.
Oh, boy. It'd be fun doing that editing. I think just very tedious.
It is.
Time-consuming.
Yeah, and I try to put them up on the air or up on YouTube right after the show plays on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. As soon as the show starts, I put one up. What I'm doing, I'm stretching them out. I used to throw them all out for one time. Yeah. Now I'm stretching it out.
I think I like it better that way.
Yeah, because then you get more to look at. And when I threw the whole thing up at one time, you didn't have that much to look at. If you know what I'm saying.
And for a rubber duck. I like it much better on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun on it. It is a lot of fun. We got 80 episodes up there. You know that? 80
Seriously?
Yeah.
80 episodes.
Mm-hmm. And we're getting longevity. We're coming up, another half year, we'll have a whole year in.
That's unreal. YouTube might start charging us rent.
No, hopefully the other way. We charge them.
Yeah. If you can get enough viewers, they actually will pay you.
Yeah.
You're
right. Just got to get enough viewers. That's the thing.
How are we going to do that?
How does anybody do it? I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, and, and you subscribe to it. You get people to subscribe to you, but how they get it to do it, you just have to hit all the different mediums, I think. Like I probably put it up on 5 different things. Like Twitter.
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Instagram.
No, I'm not on Instagram. I should do that.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Well, we're down to about 30 seconds, so we're going to come back here in a couple of minutes. But meanwhile, we need to figure out ways we can get it out. Maybe we'll have to pitch in and get us a billboard or something.
Yeah.
Put it down there at Nocatee or somewhere. We can get some viewers.
Tampa or something.
Yeah, we could rent the blimp or something. Get the word out. Skywriting. But anyhow, y'all think about it. We'll be back in a short. We'll talk about something else.